Technology, 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 eh?
Technology.
Yeah.
Berkeley, what do you do?
I am looking for a project management role.
Got it.
Nice.
Guys, I don't know what's going on. But
Yeah.
it is
Was Tiffany there
11:06.
today?
I think Mackenzie's with us today.
Oh. We probably want to call Tiffany and just say, hey,
Yeah.
Kenzie
I
hasn't got
texted
us.
her. Oh, there's Jody. So things are happening.
That's really weird. What is going on?
No. I've got a person that contacted me that's on the show, and it sent me a picture, a screenshot of us. So we're everybody else is in line, but we're the ones that's behind today. So guys, if you guys can hear me, I apologize. There's Rocky. Hey, good morning, Rocky.
I don't know that they can.
I
Do you think they
yeah
can?
yeah, I'm talking to them and they're sending me texts right now.
But we're
So
not
guys,
on
we
our
are having
picture.
some we're momentarily having some technical issues that
Yeah.
we will get. What do they say on TV? They get fixed momentarily.
We will be with you
We will
momentarily.
be with you momentarily.
Yes. So basically, you're saying they see a screen, but it's just the intro. We're not on there, and nobody can hear us. Is what you're saying?
Hey, Rocky, can you hear us? Type it in. We can hear and see you, is what Ray Gilliam is saying. Okay, so just take off. Let's
Well,
just
then,
go. Let's go,
all
Dana.
right. All right. Well, hey everybody, thank you for your patience. It's a momentary lapse. We should be on the screen in just
Yeah.
a second, but we're excited to be here for this Friday's Jobfather. Just a reminder, NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on TuneIn Radio and on the NTX Radio app. You can listen to both on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. And with that being said, we are grateful. We are so thankful for Mez behind the scenes. We couldn't do this show without her and the opportunity to be on air with Tiffany. With that being said, let's bow our head for a quick word of prayer, and then we can hop into our exciting show today. Father God, thank you so much for the privilege to be here. We are excited to visit with our individuals that are joining the show with us today. We just pray you would open up doors of opportunity for all job seekers and use us to help the job seeker and job transitioning community. Lead, guide, and direct us. And we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, Foster,
Yeah.
super excited. We've got some great guests today, and we have a focus on our executive
Executive. That's
search for
right.
the first half today. It is a little bit different
Uh-huh.
than some of the standard processes around job search, but for anybody, super exciting. There are so many tips and treasures you can take from an executive job search and apply to your own search. So, Foster, without further ado, I'm turning it over to you.
That's right. All right. Oh man, I got to go to work. Okay. Hey,
Time to work.
Kurt. Thanks, Kurt, and thanks, Berkeley, for being with us. Guys, like Dana said, we're going to focus on the executive searchers. There's some dynamic differences in executive search. We're going to go over that stuff. Kurt, guys, is
Yeah.
probably the number one executive search recruiter in Texas. I'm letting we got a big old state in Texas,
Woo-hoo.
so that's saying a lot. But Kurt is listed on Forbes. So Kurt, we are blessed to have you with us, man.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
going to
we
talk about
are.
this
This
stuff,
is
but
great.
before we get there, let me share a job with you guys. Personally, guys, I am recruiting. Dana, I'm a recruiter again, and I am recruiting for a friend of mine that's the
Yeah, yeah.
CEO for a pretty good sized company. We are looking for a controller. If you are a CPA, if you have been a controller before, I need to talk with you. This company, I'll tell you what happened a little bit, you guys. This
Ooh,
company was purchased by a venture capital company, and they're spreading. They really have a
okay.
good product, and they're spreading to. I think they're setting up about 8 different offices in the United States. So it's an exciting opportunity.
My
It's not a
goodness.
startup, guys. It's established. It's not a startup. It's just it's done well, and the venture capital folks came in, bought it, and said, "We're going to spread this out. We're going to make more money." Y'all know how it is, and so
Wow.
at any
All
rate,
right.
if you're a controller and you have been with a growing type venture capital kind of deal before, if you have been in
Yes.
distribution or manufacturing, these are the components that I'd like for you guys to get in contact with me about. Because if you're a controller, I need to talk to you. So, and it's right here in Dallas, guys. You will be right here in Dallas with a little bit of travel up to Oklahoma City, believe it or not. So
Cool.
interesting opportunity. I know the CEO. I helped him get his job. So it's a cool
Love
thing, guys.
it.
It's one of those networking situations, guys. That's why we network. That's why people like me and Dana and
Yeah.
Kurt tell you
So
guys get
important.
out amongst people. Get out and network in person when you can. It adds dividends.
100%.
Okay, Dana, you got any
Sure. Oh, I
opportunities
like
for
the
me?
way you said that. It adds dividends. Well, I would say if you go to Beacon Oral Specialists with an S on the end.com, we have practices all throughout the United States, oral surgery practices, where there are a lot of opportunities for front office, patient care coordinators, treatment coordinators, surgical assistants, instrument techs, and a lot of these roles, if you're interested, will train for individuals that are motivated, reliable, and enjoy learning new skills. Exciting opportunities nationwide. You just go to our career page when you go to beaconoralspecialists.com. With that being said, we are hiring here at our corporate office here in
Oh,
Dallas, right at 635 and 75, a healthcare or dental or oral surgery experienced insurance AR specialist 2 full-time position. It's on our website as well, full job description under the career section. All of our jobs are grouped by state, so depending on where you want to be and what you're looking for, you can look at state. Also, go to carislifesciences.com. They often hire numerous different roles at different levels, both here in the Dallas Fort Worth area as well as Phoenix, Arizona. And then, depending if you are looking for more of a sales or business development role, some of those can be in the field. Um, I think that, and then I believe I heard from Belinda this morning, my good friend over at RPC. It is a staffing firm. They're looking to hire some individuals too. So you might want to go to rpc.com. And if you have roles that you would like to advertise, do not hesitate to reach out to Foster. It is a great way to spread the news amongst a very amazing network of qualified candidates as well as qualified companies looking to hire. So if whether you're looking for a job or you're looking to advertise your roles, get with Foster and he will take care of you.
I will. I'll be glad to. So, guys, real quick, Kirk, I'm gonna see if I can make everybody laugh before you and I get started talking. S-
Oh, here we
So,
go.
okay, we have this is the dad joke section. So, okay, and when
Oh.
somebody says a dad joke, you know it's
Woo.
going to be lame. So get ready to roll your eyes in your head. So, okay,
Ah, that's
Dana,
funny.
my dog accidentally swallowed a bag of Scrabble tiles. So I took him to the vet and got him checked out, and there's no word yet.
I'm sure he'll be full of them once he has time to go to the bathroom, though.
Looks like I struck out again, Kurt. It's no big deal. Y'all are used to me doing it.
That's good. That's a good one.
Oh, that's so
So, guys, in
funny.
respect to time, we've cut into Kurt's time quite a bit with our rambling.
Yeah.
And so, Kurt, guys, is an executive recruiter. And there's a little bit when you're an executive level, when you're above the 200, I would say 200, $300,000 salary range, there's some things that are a little bit different. It could take a little bit different.
Yeah.
You could be involved in the process a little bit longer. Kurt, what are some of the things that you're seeing out there? Some differences that executives can expect to see.
Well, I think, there's a lot. I mean, right now, Foster, I think I'm excited to hear you and Dana talking about some of the jobs that you're posting, advertising, promoting, because all in all, I think the market's fairly slow right
Mm,
now. I think it's in the stock market. There's just a lot of
a lot of
hesitation out there.
hesitation.
There's a lot of companies that I thought we're going to pick up right after the first of the year when we had clarity, but I think that there's still some uncertainty as it relates to some political issues, tariffs, and other things that are going on right now. But I don't think it's henny penny. I don't think it's going to last forever. I think we just,
Mm-mm.
I think it's going to pick up here. I ran into a PE guy that I know pretty well recently, and he said, April, May is when things will start to settle in and we'll start to see growth again. But I think the fact is that whether you're young in your search or you're an executive looking for that C-suite next role, I think that the key you brought up one of the biggest issues, and is networking. I think that
Yeah.
activating your network is absolutely critical. I every day I take a call with an executive, and most of these people have never looked for a job. They've never had to look for a job. They've been recruited everywhere they've been. Their boss took them to
Mm-hmm.
the next job, and so they're
Yeah.
55 years old and they're having to look for a job, and they're kind of like the deer in the headlights. But what I try to explain to them is that your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
And I don't care what's going on in the economy. Your network is your net worth. These are the people that know you. They know about you. They know what you've done. They know what you're capable of doing. There are people that have worked with you. There are people that have worked for you. There are people that have called on you trying to sell
Oh
you
yeah.
things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These are people that you met on airplanes. These are people that you met at conventions. The list goes on and on. And I think that, as a candidate, whether again you're young in your search or you're, 40 years of experience and activating your network, you have to literally take the blinders off and start to make an Excel spreadsheet. And I don't think there's any other way to do it, even with all
Yeah.
the AI stuff that we've got today, but an Excel spreadsheet with their names, email addresses, and phone numbers. And I think that it's just critical that you activate your network by letting all these people know and get on a phone call with them each. And that might be daunting to some people because they're sitting here on the call thinking, well, I could put together a list of 500 people. And that's awesome. I want you to reach out to all 500 people and let them know that you're actively looking for a new job. But
People know
then the
people
key,
even. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's right. But then the key is Foster, as is that after you make those calls in 30 days, you've got to continue to be in touch with these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you've got to go to an email marketing campaign of some sort where you can send them all emails on a monthly basis to let them know that you're continuing to work.
Yeah.
I I share that story because I call it the prayer letter, and I just think again it works at all levels. There was a company that reached out to me a long time ago when I first started in the search business, probably 15, 12 years ago. And they were a multi-billion dollar family owned business in South Texas. And they had made a decision to let go their CFO. He was 51 years old and he had worked with the company since he was 12
Oh
years
wow.
old. He started as
What?
yeah. working in the summers, working there in the family, went to college, came back, started, worked his way up. CFO, the third generation came in and decided they wanted somebody younger in that role. So number one, when you're talking to finance people, they're typically not very good at networking. They're just a little bit more introverted than a salesperson, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I met with this guy and I talked to him about the prayer letter and explained to him what I wanted him to do. And he looked at me with the deer in the headlights, like you're kidding me, Kurt. You want me to do what? I thought I could just come meet with you and you'd find me a
No,
job. And
y'all,
I'm like,
no.
well, nobody can do that. You've got to do
Yeah,
that on your
and you
own.
should do that on your own. That should be you. It's
Yep.
your search. It's your career.
It's your
Yeah.
brand.
It is. Exactly.
You are the
Now,
brand.
people can help you network, and yeah, you might have jobs come in that are a great fit for him, but that doesn't mean he doesn't need to do his part.
Well, 30 day or it was 90 days later. He called me and he said, "Kurt, I never would have believed you when I left that Starbucks meeting that I was going to go do what you told me to do, but I followed your directions explicitly. And 90 days out, I'm sitting on 3 job offers." So this stuff
That's great.
works, but people just want to take shortcuts. They don't want to follow the rules. They don't want to follow
Uh-huh.
the game plan. But when it comes to job search, and you all know it, there's no shortcuts.
No.
There are no shortcuts. You've
Mm-mm.
got to do the heavy lifting. You've got to go to the interviews. You've got to make the calls. You've got to follow up. You've got to, you know, I often encourage people that are going through search. And again, this is a tool that whether you're young in your search or you're
Yeah.
older, if you meet with somebody, let's say Foster and I meet, and Foster says, "I'd like to introduce you to Jack over at ABC Marketing." Um, he leaves that meeting. I know Foster's a busy guy and he's got a lot going on, and he expressed that he had, a lot going on in his personal life and professional life. So what I did is I went back to the office and I drafted a note for Foster that he could send to Jack. Okay. So that I send this to Foster. I say, "Hey, Foster, you said you were going to follow up with Jack over at ABC Company. Here's a note that you can send to him." So all Foster has to do now is cut and paste that note and then put a sentence on at the beginning that says,
Mm.
"Kurt's a really good guy. I hope that you'll take a minute and take a call from him."
Yeah.
So if you're having problems with people in your network not following up with people, write the letter for them, send it to them. It's not an insult.
Mm-mm.
You just stage it by, "I understand and appreciate that you're a very busy person. And so I didn't want to, I wanted to take the pain out of you writing that introduction. And here's a note that you can send to Jack over at ABC." So
Yeah.
these are little things that you need to do. I think, silly things as well, Foster. I'm amazed at the number of people that I still call today and they don't have a personal greeting on their phone.
Oh, can I tell you that? And going to your LinkedIn profiles, guys, there are people
Oh
that
my
I am
gosh, for
first level
sure.
contact with on LinkedIn that I cannot see their phone number or their email address. Now, you guys,
Yeah.
If you're
come on now.
if you're looking for a job, put your email address and your phone number in your LinkedIn profile. The fact is only 8% of candidates reply to InMails.
Yeah.
So as a recruiter, I can sit and send 100 emails out, but that means that only 8. Now, thankfully, my numbers are higher, like yours are, Foster. But even if we only get 19 out of 100 is pretty poor. So
Yeah.
the bottom line is, if you as a candidate provide your email address and your phone number to me, then I can reach out to you directly and you move to the head of the class.
Yeah.
I think another little tip is that, when you send out emails, do you have a signature block on your email? And is that signature block turned on for every email and every return email that you send?
Exactly. That's important. And a professional signature block and a professional email address. Don't be
Good.
putting your high school,
Lover
Joe
boy.
GoPro or something. I mean, yeah, make sure that it's a professional. Like I have a friend who has one email address that's her standard, but for professional stuff, it's her first name dot last name and then a couple letters or numbers to make it so nobody else has that one, right? And
Yep.
that's what you got to do.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
So those are some quick tricks and trades, but it's a similar story when candidates during the holidays, a lot of times, Foster, and you've heard these conversations before, where the candidate says, during the next 30 days, it might be the month of December. I'm going to just take time off and spend time with my family because nobody hires during the holidays. So
Not
I told
true.
everybody at the beginning, yeah, that's right. We're in a slow market right now, and there's not the hiring at the level that it's been in the last couple of years. But you all just identified a number of jobs of companies that are hiring. In fact, I brought one to Foster's attention the other day. If anybody on this phone call or anybody in their network has a contact, I'm looking for a junior HR executive. It's a HR manager role working for a privately held company here in Dallas, about 32 employees, and it's all white collar. So there's no manufacturing, there's no distribution. They're all marketing, finance, sales executives that they will work with. But it's a great brand. It's a great company. Looking for somebody that's got between up to about 5 or 6 years of experience because the salary is only $90,000. So, if anybody on this call is interested in that role or knows somebody, certainly spread the word. I am not actively working that job,
You're helping a buddy,
Mhm.
right?
Foster. Yeah, I'm just helping a friend. I had coffee with her this last week,
Yeah,
and she was distressed over the fact that this role was open, and she can't hire recruiters right now because of just financial restrictions. So I'm just promoting it because they're just a great brand and a great group of people. So if
yeah.
anybody has any contacts or wants to talk to me about that, my contact information is on my LinkedIn profile, and you can find it easily there.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And you know what? Can I piggyback on something you both
Get
said?
to piggybacking.
Um, get to piggybacking. I really want to re-emphasize making yourself reachable. Okay, make sure. And I've even seen this on all types of resumes. Okay, all types, all levels, where people forget to put email address or phone number on their resume. Oh, I didn't realize that wasn't on there. Even very high level people, make sure that's on there. Make sure your contact information is on your LinkedIn and it's up to date. Your LinkedIn is up to date and aligns with your resume. And remember, what even if you feel like it's slow that month, what you do this month is going to produce fruit in the following month. So don't wait, stay consistent, keep working the process, and the right opportunity will open. Make sure that you're out there and networking. I want to reemphasize what both Foster and what we talked about. And last but not least, just make yourself visible. Get out there. Again, contact information on your resume, contact information on your LinkedIn. Make sure that you're checking daily for new positions coming in, and you're doing your part. Sometimes it's a little bit of a
It's
numbers
daunting.
game,
Yeah.
okay? But it works. And when I was unemployed for 4 months, it was a numbers game. I might apply to 30 jobs a day, right? And some of those had a couple hundred over 1,000 in there. But things come together. They will, and God will open up the right door. And while the market might seem a little bit slow, there are a lot of companies hiring. There are a lot of job opportunities coming in. I'm getting emails. I'm seeing things move. It's natural that anytime you have a little bit of a shift with a new president coming into play, that it might take a couple months for everybody to get comfortable. But I anticipate as we get further into the year, hopefully the market will continue to open up.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. No, I think that's exactly right. And I think it is all about attitude. It's about
Hmm.
process. One of the things that companies, when they call me to see if I can help them fill a job, is they always want to know what my process is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where am I going to find people? What am I going to do? How is the communication going to go, and so forth. And so for candidates, there's equally a process that you have to follow. And you've mentioned a whole lot of them, and you can't take any shortcuts. I think the one thing that I would add to this whole conversation is that one of the things that candidates can do to just improve their overall presence and their brand is by working on that elevator pitch and that introductory, that first 30 seconds that you have on the phone with a recruiter or a hiring manager or somebody. um, it's so many times we get on the call, and Foster and you've all, some of you have witnessed this, but candidates have a tendency when they get on a phone call with a recruiter to just kind of
Oh
vomit.
yeah.
And they go on and on and on and on,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
tell me things that they shouldn't be telling me. And
Yep.
thankfully, I've been doing this long enough that I find a time. Sometimes it's 12 minutes into the conversation. Sometimes it's 6 minutes where I say, okay, take a deep breath for a minute, Bob. Stop for a second,
Yeah.
Sally. Um, we got a lot to talk about here, but you need to stop for a minute and let me do some talking so that you can understand what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Candidates, when they hear that there's a controller job open, and they're like, I got it, I got it, I got it. Well, you might have it, but what I'd encourage you to do before you say you got it, you got it, you got it, is Foster's giving you all some indication of what kind of role it is in the distribution, manufacturing kind of business. But I would encourage you to dig deeper with Foster and try to get Foster to give you a background on what are the biggest problems that this company's trying to
Uh-huh.
solve in hiring a new controller. What's not working, or what is up on the horizon? Is it a supply chain issue? Is it just growth? What are the issues that this company is going to be facing in the next year that they want this controller to have responsibility for? If you can get Foster to explain
And I
that to
can.
you, now you've got ammunition to go back to Foster to send him not only a resume, but not a cover letter, but you can now go bullet by bullet. Maybe it's 3 bullets. Says, Foster, I'm so glad that we talked. I'm so glad I didn't just shoot you an email and say that I'm available and I'm a
Yeah.
controller and I'm the best fit you'll find, because we don't know that. Just because you're a controller doesn't mean you're going to be the best fit for
That's
this
right. We
role.
ain't talk
So,
about it. Yep.
Exactly.
yep.
Yeah.
So those I think the candidates need to, not that not all candidates don't do it, but I encourage candidates, everybody on this call, to develop that list of questions about that they want to ask the recruiter. What's the biggest problem they're trying to solve? What keeps them up at night? Who are their biggest competitors? But every job, I can tell you, every job that I fill, I have a lengthy discussion with the ownership or the CEO or whoever the role is reporting to identify what are the tasks that this executive is going to have to accomplish, and what are the problems that we want them to fix in the next 6 months to a year.
Especially in this
Then I can
executive.
ask
Yeah.
candidates specifically, not about, have you ever used, QuickBooks, but I can ask them very specifically, have you ever been in a situation where you've had to deal with a this, this, and this, and this? And the candidate, well, no, I haven't done that, but I did this and this, and then over here I did that and that. Okay, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I know I'm kind of catching you off guard, but I want you to continue to think about that, and I want you to write me a letter, a story about what you did in these three
Yeah,
I
specific
like
absolutely.
roles.
that.
So
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
hey,
good.
Kurt, I wanna throw something in real quick. Earlier when I was telling you guys I'm looking for a controller, I didn't tell you guys Foster.Williams at sbcglobal.net. Let me tell you that again. I heard a truck. Foster.Williams at sbcglobal.net. Mez put it in the chat. It's time for us to go and take a. We need to get over to Berkeley. Thank you very much, Kurt.
I'm going to hang
Yeah,
around. Berkeley, good luck
please
crushing
hang
it.
around and
Thank
please
you.
throw in some comments as we go. And
You
guys,
got
we
it.
normally go to commercial. We're having some technical issues today, so we're gonna go to Berkeley Han. Her last name is Han, guys. Y'all see that thing right there? That's her last name.
The thing on the end of your
I
arm.
That's right. The thing at the end of your arm. Her name is Berkeley, Berkley. I put a Berkeley one time, Berkeley, and then you didn't even pop up on LinkedIn. But companies, I want you guys, we're going to talk to Berkeley. She is a project manager. She's certified, everything. So, Berkeley, let's talk to you a little bit about what you are looking for and a little bit about your background and that kind of stuff. Because we got Kurt today. I want Kurt to hear all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, oh, so I am a former educator. So I was leaving the education space.
Yeah.
I went to University of Kentucky, got my bachelor's in education. Was like,
UK.
I don't want to teach. But then I got my master's in psychology, thinking that I would stay there, and then still ended up in a school. So that's what happened there. And then I did 3 years in a school. My contract ended. I was a school, kind of like a school social worker, but I was an extra position. So they cut my position at the end of last school year. So I had some teacher friends that had switched, and they were like, you should get a project management certification. So I looked into it, did all the coursework, got my PMP at the end of the school year, and now I'm here job hunting. So I'm looking for mainly entry level, like project coordination, just because I am making a major switch. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dana. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to ask Berkeley. So that's great that you have identified something you're passionate about. What interests you most about project management, and how does that align with your core skills?
I was interested in project management because I guess I would call project management like, professional organizing. And that's kind of what I did at my last role, was make sure all of the mental health and all of the mental health related things are better aligned. Sorry, she asked me to switch in the chat, so I'm going to move a little bit.
No problem. No, that makes sense. Because I know with project management, there's so many different industries that you can get into to perform project management. It is one of those career fields where you can have a lot of impact in a lot of different places and open up a lot of different doors. So, yeah, I just wanted to find out what your kind of dynamic, or what kind of, I know entry level, but tell us a little bit about what makes you a good project manager, and kind of what types of project management roles you might be open to.
Yeah, what got you? Oh wow!
Sorry,
What
I'm
got
switching
you
locations.
interested in that? Understood. What got you interested? I mean, you're certified and all that stuff. So, what got you interested in going in that direction, Berkeley?
Yeah.
I would say that when I, take like a personality test, or when I'm at my work, people kind of look to me for leadership, and they're like, okay, she is kind of in charge. She knows what's going on. And the project coordination, project management, when I looked further into that, it was like, okay, you have to be able to talk to different types of people, know what they're doing, reorganizing them, and making sure the project goes the right direction.
Uh-huh.
So my husband teases me all the time because he's like, you just tell people what to do.
He would know, huh?
I can do that. And with my psychology background and stuff like that, I'm good at talking to different types of people.
Uh-huh.
I'm able to kind of keep different types of people on track. So
What would you say are the key areas for you in project management that make a successful project manager?
I would say, again, strong leadership, being able to manage different things on time.
Uh-huh. Multitask. Oh yeah.
Multitasking, yes. And also being adaptable,
Mm-hmm.
to the different situation, as the project might change or different things come up. You have to be able to problem solve and think on your feet and be ready to go.
Gotcha. And I would say for project managers, not only a strong ability to multitask, ability to manage competing priorities and understand where to put your time during the day, 80-20 rule. And one of the biggest things anybody in corporate America can focus on is stakeholder management. In order to be a successful project manager, you've got to know how to manage stakeholders, because you're going to have a lot of different personalities and everybody's going to think their part of it is most important. So how do you align those individuals? So what areas are you looking for in project management, or industries?
I don't have a specific industry I'm need to go to, just because, like I said, I am making such a big transition. I've done a little bit of
sense.
Yeah. I'm working on a project right now with my brother at the University of North Texas on a little bit of AI research and work.
Oh yeah.
Just because tech is so big and AI is becoming so big. So
Oh yeah.
I'm not against switching into the tech world, but if someone was like, "Hey, I got a construction project management entry level ready to go," I'm ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, that's one thing I love about project management is that there's just so many different industries. That's what I was mentioning earlier that you can impact, right? So what software did you learn in terms of usage for different project management roles?
I learned a little bit of Jira and then Microsoft Project in my
Oh yeah.
time playing around with new like my testing and all of that. And then I played with like Monday.com and a couple other ones, just so
Uh-huh.
you know, the free access. But yes.
Yeah, that's going to be important just to continue to build that repertoire
Mhm.
of, and I'll tell you what, if you're in between jobs, I learned this from a friend at church and he was in marketing and had gotten laid off. And during that year, God used that time. He was able to get his PMP for free because the state of Texas has programs for individuals that are in between jobs that they will pay for you to take because it's in their best interest for their population to get back to work, right? In the state of Texas. And so he was able to get his PMP paid for by the state of Texas. And he got, oh, his PMP, and then I think it was a Six Sigma, one of the Six Sigma levels, I think. And he was able to get that paid for if you go to the Texas Workforce Commission or the county you live in and the state websites. They advertise programs that you can qualify for and get additional information. And since AI is such a hot topic, Berkeley,
It
I
is.
would definitely recommend. I've noticed different ads on learning. There's like 15 or 20 different softwares that you can get some experience with AI, and that could set you apart from a lot of other project managers that have never haven't have been doing it for a while and haven't had a chance to really get involved in the latest and the greatest because maybe their role that they've been in for a while uses a certain type of software and they haven't had the need to kind of delve into some AI tools, right? And the quicker you can gather the data, the faster you can make decisions and mitigate the risk of whatever problem you're trying to solve through this project doesn't happen.
Hey, Berkeley, one of the recommendations I've got for you is that, keywords are critical in search. And so one of the things that you should be doing is looking at job descriptions for some of these entry level jobs that you're looking for. And what I want you to do is spread 5 of them out on your desk and take a highlighter and highlight the keywords of what they're
Love
looking
it.
for. There's going to be a lot of synergies between those 5. But then want you to do is check each one of those to do you have that skill? Have you done that? Is that something that you can put in your resume? Is that something you can put in your LinkedIn profile? So what we want to do is develop that list of keywords and then make sure we go to LinkedIn and fill in LinkedIn and smother your LinkedIn profile with those keywords. Make sure they're in your resume as well.
Love it.
But that's one of those things. The other thing you really want to get, the practice interview group is a great group for you to go see. And not that you're not a great communicator, because you are. But what I really want you to do is hone in on those skills of what you've talked about, because you've talked about leadership, being able to solve problems, bring clarity to issues, your ability to communicate with different types of people, HR to project manager to sales, marketing, manufacturing. Those are all key skills in a project manager, and you're going to see
Yes.
those when you start going through these job descriptions.
Yes.
But that's where I really want you to hone in on your elevator pitch and your resume and your LinkedIn profile. And I think that'll help you get to the finish line a lot
I
faster.
agree. Great advice.
This is good. This is good for you job seekers to hear. Thanks, Kurt.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, as we're moving forward, we're learning how this process works, what we should know. I've got a question, Berkeley. Which certification did you get, or did you get a couple of them? You may have more than one.
I got the PMP through PMI.
Through
Oh,
PMI.
perfect.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
good. That's
That's
really
really
good.
good, especially
Yeah.
going in that direction. Yeah, you wanna set yourself for. But you're doing. I know that you're doing because you are part of our project management focus group that is on Wednesdays, and that's what you want
Yeah.
to do. My dad told me, guys. He said, if you want to learn how to do something, go hang out with the people that do it. And
Yeah.
so, and that's pretty simple, but that's
Yeah.
what Berkeley's doing. And Kurt, I don't know if I ever mentioned to you that we have a project management focus group that's part of this network. This network is tremendous. We've
I've
got a
spoken there. It's amazing,
yeah,
Foster. You
well,
have great individuals in there.
it is. We've got IT, we've got HR, we've got project management. It goes on and on and on across the nation, guys. We're not the only ones here in Dallas Fort Worth that have these delineations. I guess.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I can't spell that word. That's a big one.
Hey, that's
But
a good one today. Foster word of the day.
I get a quarter for that word. So you know what, guys, get out there. You know, one thing I want to emphasize volunteering. So
You read my mind.
if you are part of a professional association that has something to do with project management, maybe IT, maybe HR, not only be involved but volunteer to help, guys. It carries a lot of positive dividends to that.
It really does. I like it's funny you read my mind, Foster. I was thinking about the whole volunteering piece. Not only does that add positive dividends, but those people are going to have a chance to actually work with you a little bit. And so when
Uh-huh.
they hear about opportunities, well, I actually got to partner beside Berkeley a little bit, and she was great. And they can actually testify to what it would be like, working and collaborating with you. So I agree with Foster. I think that's great.
Guys, there's one thing that I'm always standing on top of, even more than Dana or anybody else I know, is relationship building. And Dana and I get
Yeah, it
close to
is.
the screen when we say relationship. That's our word.
Relationship.
And
Yep.
guys, when you are volunteering, you're helping other people. You're helping. You seem to be the subject matter expert. Well, you're a subject matter expert of the operations of of that organization, and you get a chance to help people and build a relationship with them as you go, and you will be surprised. Berkeley is starting out in project management, guys. So some of you companies might want to consider, especially with Berkeley's background, some of you guys might want to consider bringing her in as a project coordinator. And Berkeley can get involved in projects, see how it goes, and pick up a bunch of learning eh, that she already is a part of. She's a teacher, guys. So yeah, Berkeley should go in the direction of project management. Yay,
Yeah.
Berkeley.
I just
Plus,
think
you got a
that's
cool
great.
name anyway.
Yeah. So, Berkeley, as far as next steps, or do you have any target companies, any area, any organizations that you're like, I'd really like to keep an eye on opportunities that come available with quote unquote this firm, etc.
The one target company that does interest me is Microsoft, just because they consistently post this role called a customer
Okay.
success account manager,
Okay.
where
Yes.
they ask for a psychology degree, which I have, and a
Oh,
Yes.
PMP, which I have.
Oh wow. So Berkeley, you and I
perfect.
need to talk more about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
One
that
thing.
is, oh,
So, Berkeley, what you need to do is you need to get a hold of somebody. You need to use your network and identify somebody at Microsoft that's not an HR person that has done a role or worked with this role before so that they can give you advice of the hurdles that you're going to have to,
Yeah.
because you're going to have to build a bridge. They're
mhm,
looking that's a great role, and you could be great at that, but they're looking at your resume and saying you've never done this before.
Yeah.
So even though you check
right.
boxes, you've got to build a bridge between what you've done and what they're looking to do. And the best way to get that data is to find somebody that you can network with that can give you some insight.
Absolutely.
And
That is
guess
really
who
well
knows
said.
somebody? And guess who knows somebody in Microsoft that can help us do that? So Berkeley, do not let me forget. Let me be the job father. I have a connection inside. Her name's Maria, and she is one of the senior managers, and she loves to help people. And
Oh, that's awesome.
I couldn't think of a better person to connect you with inside of Microsoft for that. And I think that relationship that you will be able to build with Maria, because she's that type of spirit. There's a certain
Yeah.
person out there, like everybody on this call, that understands why we should help each other and why we should communicate
Yeah.
and why we should build relationships. You guys knew I was going to bring my word back into this thing.
Yeah.
Don't let me
We
forget
know it,
Berkeley.
Foster.
Berkeley, do not let me forget
I
to
won't let you
introduce
forget.
you to Maria, because she's a
Oh,
hiring manager as well in Microsoft, and
excellent.
I think Maria's been with Microsoft maybe 7 or 8 years now.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, I need what we're talking about right now. I definitely need to introduce you to her, especially as we got to focus on that position with your
Heck yeah.
background and your education.
I love it. This is going to be so great that you have that connection. And this is why we do these things. Foster, I love that you brought that up. You're the job father for a reason. God has anointed you with that ability to do that. I'm telling you, it's the truth. And um, we all thank you personally for the work you do to help connect us with other people because, like we talked about earlier, you have these great credentials. They just see that you haven't done a lot of project management work before. So, getting someone on the inside, and getting their attention, I have seen so many doors open for people just through those actions alone. I'm not kidding. I mean, that is what can really make or break a difference.
It really does. And we've seen that time and time again. This network is 25 years
Yeah.
old, guys. We have seen people, especially in our HR, we've seen people with no HR experience get into HR through relationships, proper relationships. Now,
Yeah.
what you're sharing with me and Kurt and Dana, we're all recruiters. Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
you're sharing with us not only your background, but your interest in that direction. I could tell now, when you mentioned your brother, is he in IT, Berkeley?
My brother is a electrical
Okay,
engineer, and he's about to graduate from University of North Texas, and he does a bunch of research
that's
projects.
one of my schools. I
So
like University of North Texas.
he,
Now,
he's posted all kinds of research papers and brought me in on one of the current projects just so I can have some AI
Oh,
and
that's
experience
I
with it.
like
good.
that. I like that direction.
Uh-huh.
I was able to ascertain. There's another big word, Dana. I was able to
Foster, you
ascertain.
never cease to amaze me.
My mom was an English teacher, so I like those big words. So from listening to you, Berkeley, I could tell that maybe a good direction. You don't seem like you are afraid of that IT world. AI, maybe even cybersecurity or something like that. And I'm talking this way because you're building a career, you're going forward. You are
Yeah.
I used to be I used to be young and was young in my career too. Me and Kurt, I don't know what happened to us, but but I like the direction of where we're going with this call because we're putting together a plan. And
Yeah.
as long as you're not afraid to head in the IT world, I think you should. And when you mentioned Microsoft, everything came together in my head. That's the way I think anyway.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, so I've got to introduce you to Maria. Absolutely. Your passion is there. We love it.
I'm excited. This could be a great opportunity.
It will be. It will be.
Yeah.
So, Berkeley, we got something to work on. And you see me all the time. And, I'm all up in everybody's Kool Aid.
But in a good way. Foster
And it,
cares.
yeah, I do.
He
I
does. I'm
do.
grateful for you, Foster. You've
And I
made a big
appreciate.
impact in a lot of people's lives.
Well, I'm grateful to you, Dana. It wouldn't be no good job, Father, if it wasn't for Dana.
I'm
So,
just I'm just the goofy sidekick.
well, I'm no wonder,
I'm the
no
Oompa
wonder we
Loompa
hired you. So,
because I've
Berkeley,
got kind of green on today.
we laugh about this, Berkeley, but we build relationships going forward. It makes sense in certain areas. You have an interest in a certain area. We have relationships in those areas. Well, Foster, they call you the job father. Are you introducing me to these people in which I can have a conversation with and build a plan going forward to get into that? And
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do just fine.
I love the plan. And
Oh,
I
look at what
love
Jody said. Look, Dana. You see what Jody said? Berkeley, I
Oh,
have
I
an
think
AI
that's
networking
great.
group. Yeah,
Yeah, Jody, that is amazing. I loved Jody. We had Jody on
we
last week.
had
She was
Jody on
freaking
last
amazing.
week. Uh-huh.
And I love Ray that he's jumping in, excited about the news and advice.
Always
And I
good to
will
see Ray.
agree.
Yeah,
I love the advice we got earlier of take a couple job descriptions, lay them out, highlight the key skills. I'm going to remember that one. That is so
I like that too.
good for interviewing. I mean, this is why Foster is very particular about who we have on the show. I'm telling you, we can stand to
yeah.
learn new things every day. It doesn't matter how experienced we are. I just learned some new tricks and treasures today. I'm just so thankful for that.
In corporate America, if you have a person with the right attitude, that determines their altitude. I don't know if you guys have heard that particular little funny
Say that
saying
one more
before.
time. That was a really good one. And I just think it's worth saying again, Foster.
It is, and thanks, Dana. If you have the right attitude, it will determine your altitude.
Woo!
I'm one of
I need
those
a
people.
shirt made.
I know. And you guys know what? I went to school. I was pre-med in college. How in the world did I end up a corporate recruiter? Well, some
God
of
had
us
a
saw,
plan.
yeah, God had a plan, but God gave me this personality and I built on this person. I didn't even expect to. I didn't know what was going on. But things, guys, if you get out and you meet people and you develop relationships, things will happen that you didn't even see coming. And then you realize, hey,
Mm-mm.
wait a minute. I have an interest in that. That's pretty cool to me. Because that is what happened to yours truly, the job father, right here. So
That's
that's why we
amazing.
that's why we have a God, and that's why we get out amongst people. What is there, 8 billion of us on this planet now?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, and the more we can come together, the better life is, right?
That's
I
right.
mean, yeah, and that's why I'm very vocal about how grateful I am for Foster and Mez and a lot of individuals that I get to work with every day. And we all are here for y'all. We've all been through layoffs. We all have eat, slept, and
Yeah, we've been there.
unfortunately had to
Uh-huh.
breathe it. But I will tell you, depending on layoff or just looking for a job, either or. I mean, there's lots of different reasons for being in the job field, and there's no, it's all what am I trying to say? It's all okay. Okay, everybody has experienced it. Trust me, your situation, while it's hard, isn't unique, and God is in control. But the more we can get out and help one another, the more we can return the favor, the more we can be there for one another. It's going to make a difference. And I will tell you, I had a good friend that's a believer tell me, Dana, I can't wait to see the fruit that you are going to develop going through this challenge. And you know what? They were right. Honestly, I grew so much during that 4
You
months of
did. Yeah.
unemployment.
Yeah.
And I did develop fruit, and I developed a closer relationship with the Lord, and I'm really thankful for that. So, I mean, Foster, I just can't thank you enough too during that time. But for those listening, there are opportunities in a lot of areas. Things are picking up. In some areas, they're a little hesitant or slow. The executive search is very different, and those roles are typically higher paid, significantly. So it might take a little bit longer. But there's wonderful things you can learn from the executive search to apply to your search, right, Foster?
That's right. And one thing that I've seen right out there, my buddy Ray Gilliam, I've known him for a while. He says, Berkeley, I've sent you a connection request also. And he's happy to talk and assist. Guys, this is what the network is all about.
Yeah.
This is why we get out. There are other people. Berkeley has shown an interest in going into, and she's certified, going into project management. And there are folks out there that are like, okay, I'll be more than glad to help Berkeley. Guys, this is why we should get out. Sometimes we're on Zoom when I'm always on Zoom, zooming around the United States trying to help people get a job. And
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
just connection. I'll tell you something funny, Kurt. Of course, my dad was a pastor. We often say that all the time. So, you're cutting me off. That's good. I'll continue
Oh, man.
next Friday. I'm not going to forget what I was going to share with you guys. Thanks, Kurt. Thanks,
Yes,
Berkeley.
do not forget.
We'll see you guys next
Thanks,
Friday.
Kurt. You rock. Bye, Berkeley.
All right.
All right.
Grandview to Godly. This is the voice of Johnson County. Joco Community Radio. Here's